Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Goldborn. It's been a while. It's been a long while for me. A number of weeks. And sorry about that. I normally record things in advance, and I just didn't record for a number of days. And the reason for that is, I just got burnt out on a number of things. I basically got swamped with other things that I had to do, and I got sort of burnt out on Dwarf Fortress in the meantime. But it wasn't all for naught. I did find out some things. Specifically, I found out why dwarves weren't doing things. I figured out why dwarves were not acting on things that they were supposed to be doing. The reason for that, turns out, is the emotion system, which is utterly broken and doesn't work. With anything, I should add. So that's the way I put it, is that the emotion system is utterly broken. So what does that mean? So, for example, your dwarves will spend all of their time praying, and then you'll look down at the bottom here, and it'll say, where is it? Where is it? Does this person not have, okay, it doesn't actually have it. There he is. He's unfocused after being able to pray to the mellow, humble heathers. So, he's super, according to him, he's super unfocused, right? And a lot of these guys are unfocused, so they spend all of their time praying. Well, the problem is that they will come into this temple, and they will spend all their time praying to gods they don't worship. So they'll show up, right, and they'll spend all of their days praying to various deities that they don't actually worship. And if that sounds stupid to you, it's because it is. And that's not the only thing that happens, too. The same thing happens for, like, they spend all of their time carousing, and then they complain that they don't have, like, anything they want. So they sit around and they complain that they don't have, they haven't talked to friends lately, or they haven't, done anything that they want. So they spend all of their time complaining. Spend all their time being miserable, because they won't do the very basic things that they need to do. And if that sounds stupid to you, it's because it is. That sounds moronic to you, it's because it is. And so yeah, that's basically been the problem of why my dwarves are not doing anything, is because they have unmet needs, and their needs can never be met because the dwarves will never meet them. The dwarves spend all of their time, essentially praying to things that they don't believe in, and so they don't get any stats. Or they won't eat food, or they eat food that's irrelevant of quality, but because it doesn't have the one thing that they enjoy, they complain that they haven't had good meals recently. So they end up with all these meals that they're unsatisfied with, despite the fact that, you know, they're eating masterwork roasts all the fucking time. And so all your dwarves will spend all of their time praying to things and meditating on things that they don't worship. And there's nothing really to do about this, except for, like, even if you set up temples to every single god, you'll have individuals coming into there that still don't worship the god. So I could set up temples to every single god that we have, and they would still go and worship gods that they don't worship in temples for gods they don't worship. And that sounds crazy to you, it's because it is. And so you end up with divinities, or end up with dwarves that just spend all of their time doing useless bullshit. And that's a problem. So I've sort of been questioning on whether or not I want to continue this playthrough, and I really don't know if I'm going to. I sort of have to, like, I sort of just didn't want to leave it hanging, because I really didn't, based on what we've done, and based on, based on everything, based on what we've done, based on, what I've decided, you know, what I've been doing based on what I've been thinking, what I've learned, part of me just wants to restart. Part of me wants to just restart, or start a new playthrough. But I'm just sort of burnt out, I guess, is the way to do it. So I might restart this. I might continue on in the future. Because we've done a lot in this playthrough, but I've sort of ended up in a place where the problems of the fort cannot be fixed by me, because it comes down to shoddy implementation of certain systems. And so I'm sort of left wondering what to do. Like, there's nothing I can really fix about that, as much as I want to. As much as I want to, there's not really any ability of mine to like, fix the problem. It just sort of peters out, I guess, is the way to put it. And so part of me wants to, like, start over and do, like, a joke run or something, or just, like, make everything out of adamantium or something. Part of me wants to do that. I know this isn't really all that interesting, but it's sort of my problem at the moment, where I'm kind of, like, I'm just sort of frustrated about it, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably generate a new world or something, or, I don't know, I'll give it a break, because apparently there's supposedly a new version of Dwarf Fortress coming out in the next couple months, with the villain update, so we'll see about that. We'll see what happens. Obviously, it's going to come out on Steam eventually, which I'm looking forward to, because I'm both looking forward to it and worried about it, because Steam is not the Dwarf Fortress forums, and I feel like the things that the Dwarf Fortress diehards put up with or are okay with, the Steam community will not be. I know Steam is a cesspool, a very terrible game on the planet, but it occurs to me that it just, I don't see it happening. I see things like you can't use bins correctly, or your dwarves will pray forever to gods they don't believe in, being things that people will complain about. And so, you know, I love Dwarf Fortress, I do, but I hope they spend a lot of time bug fixing, and I hope they spend a lot of time, like, figuring it out, and sort of, like, I don't know, like, I hope they fix things and streamline things and make things functional more than I hope that they add new things. I really don't care that they're adding new stuff to the game at this point. I really just would like them to fix the problems that have been there for, like, 4 versions now. Because most of the bugs that are here are not new bugs. Most of the bugs are old bugs, so, I mean, you can mod the game to get around them, but players shouldn't have to mod your game to play your game correctly. You know what I mean? And again, that's me saying it as somebody who loves Dwarf Fortress. So yeah, I guess I'm just a little burnt out on it at the moment. I don't know what I'll do in the meantime. Thinking about, I don't know, I'm thinking about other games. Maybe I'll tempted to play some RimWorld. I got really burnt out on RimWorld though, because I played it since Alpha 6, and then it came out, and by the time it came out, I was just so over it at that point. So RimWorld's another game that decided for some reason to add a whole bunch of features that nobody wanted or asked for. And so yeah, I just kind of got bored of it. Like, I guess I wish I could shove RimWorld and Dwarf Fortress into one game, almost, because, like, RimWorld is functional, but it's very shallow, in many ways. Whereas Dwarf Fortress is very complex, but it's not very functional. And I sort of wish you could have both complex and functional in one thing. Like, oh, a Vile Force of Darkness has arrived. That's interesting. From where? Oh. A couple goblins have arrived. Alright, well. I I'm almost tempted just to let them in the fort, but I don't want to ruin the fort. Set the burrow. Lever. Where'd they go? No. Well, the lava force of darkness immediately disappeared. Never mind. Oh, it's only where I pulled the lever. Never mind then. I don't know what we're doing. But yeah, that's basically where I'm at the moment. I know it sounds stupid and odd, but that's kind of where I'm at mentally for a lot of this stuff. What was he even digging out at this point? Oh. But yeah, I don't know what I'll do. And so the reason I didn't make anything for a few days, because I wanted to make more videos, but I didn't want to play Dwarf Fortress, basically. And I wouldn't know what to play. So I was like, oh no, what do I do? Yeah, I don't know. I have ideas, but I don't know. I don't know. It's where I'm at the moment. And that sounds like I'm confused. It's because I pretty much am. I'm sort of... I guess is the best way to put it. I don't know how a better way to put meh as a place. That's basically all I can say. I wish I wasn't this way, honestly. I wish I was, I don't know, maybe I'll play Masterwork a bit. But my previous forays with Masterwork, were basically that it was a buggy mess that didn't work very well. That's basically my opinion on Masterwork, was that it was somehow an even buggier version of Dwarf Fortress. And while it added things, becoming buggier was not a selling point, in my opinion. Obviously other people will agree and disagree with that, but while I love Dwarf Fortress, I certainly don't think it needs to be even more buggy and complex. And yeah, I don't know. I'll probably upload other things. I don't know. I'll try to look for I don't know. Try to look for other things. I don't know. I'm just sort of dealing with a whole bunch of shit IRL, so it's a little bit problematic when you're trying to focus on having fun, but you can't because you're too busy stressing out about other things. It's sort of where I'm at the moment. What else? Oh, well, in the meantime, the same guy who's been claiming copyright infringement in all my videos is still around. It's still owned by a company claiming copyright infringement on something they don't own. On video and audio they don't own, and on other things they don't own. So that's wonderful. Not really a... What is this? Bismuth. Okay. It's odd. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just everywhere at the moment. It's basically my issue. I mean, I do want to make more stuff. I just don't know what to make. I haven't really decided or decided on direction, because I don't know. That was always going to happen though. It was always going to happen because eventually either the fort was going to break down or I was just going to lose interest. That was just kind of inevitable. Sort of the inevitability of Dwarf Fortress. You either get too busy to keep playing it, or you just lose interest. Actually, it's how my last fort ended, too. I just lost interest and then opened up hell. Which I'm not going to do this time, because I kind of want to go back to this, I think. Maybe. Or I'll forget about it in, in a month and delete the file, and then I'll have to restart again or something. I don't know. Yeah. So I've been rambling for 10 minutes. 15 minutes. I've just been rambling incoherently. It's probably not the best idea. well. Hopefully they'll fix other things. Hopefully they'll fix other things. Caravan has arrived. Okay. Alright, well. I don't know, I don't really have much to say. I'm not really all that... I'll probably do other things in the meantime. Yeah, in the moment, I'm just kind of done with this, for now. Hopefully one day I'll get back to it. I'll try and save it, and I'll try to remember not to just delete the files or whatever, but... yeah. So, Goldborn will return one day, probably. Probably. But, yeah, that's basically the update on this. I'll probably try to record other things and do other things, but that'll be then. So, yeah. See y'all later.